Good evening, guys. I'm Make It 6 o'clock. This is the last session for ENTP 7312. And as we finished the curriculum last time we met, I thought I'd do the national support session during this last session. So this is about the POE and what you need to do to complete the POE and add it in. So the POE is 35% of the final mark and is due on the 3rd of November. So you've got about 2 or 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's 1, 2, yeah, about 2 weeks that you have to complete this POE in. It is rather arduous because there's a video that you've got to do. So the sooner that you start working, the better. You're going to be doing about 2,000 to 2,500 words. Please make sure that you use enough references, 8 to 10 at this level. And then your AI acknowledgement is very important. There's a couple of students that I had to report, unfortunately, for AI. And the simple infringement is they didn't declare their AI usage, right? So simply not declaring AI usage means I have to report you. Now, what does your AI declaration look like? There's a couple of you that got away with this, where I let it slide. And in the final one, we're building up gradually, because we all know that this is the AI declaration is a new thing, and you guys are third year or final year students. So we are working this up, and we're trying not to be very punitive from the beginning. But now by this last one, unfortunately, you are going to have to make sure that you've done this right. So right at the end, you put Annexure A after everything, and you title the Annexure AI Declaration. Any AI you use, whether it's for spell checking, whether it was to generate a picture, whatever you used AI, brainstorming, anything, got to declare the AI. If you doubt if you've got to declare it, declare it. So that's what it says, what you need to do. You need to name the AI tool, so ChatGPT, or whatever the case, Grammarly, whatever you used. The purpose of intent or intention why you used it, to generate a graphic, to brainstorm ideas, the sourcing the ideas for structure, design, whatever the case may be, the dates when you used it, and then a link to the actual generator of AI or screenshots of the chat. Let me give you a tip here. Put screenshots, right? Clear screenshots of everything you did. I'll tell you why. If we can't click through the link and we can't get to the actual chat and I can't see it, then I have to report you, because that's like having a source and the source doesn't really exist. So it is extremely important that if you do use AI in your final assessment, that you do declare it and you clear it properly. The last bullet there basically tells you what a declaration looks like. So declare it and then put your actual, sorry, that last section is not a declaration. The last section is actually, sorry, yes. I'm getting confused between this and another slide show I did earlier. That is basically what the declaration looks like. But put slideshot, don't put a link to the AI conversation, because I find I can't get to the AI conversation. So that's the admin part done. Let's get to what the actual assignment itself is going to look like. So there's your layout. You're going to have a cover page. If you want to do a page with the different sections on it, you're welcome to do that. I don't need that. Then you're going to write an intro of about 250 words. And the intro is important because there's 10 marks you'll see right at the bottom for structure and what it looks like and so on. And therefore you need an introduction. And please name it introduction. Then do question 1. And question 1 is going to be a video. I'll mention it on the next slide again, but the video, you do not try to upload the video. Upload the video onto YouTube, make it so that anybody with a link can see it, and put the link under question 1. That's all you need to do under question 1. Just put the video link under question 1. Question 2 is going to be about 900 words. Question 3, about 1,100 words. and then a conclusion of about 250 words, your reference list, your annexure. And go through it, make sure that the spelling is correct, make sure that it's laid out neatly, justify it to the sides, so that it looks like something nice and pretty. Because if it looks nice and pretty, it reads nice and pretty, and your marks look nice and pretty. Okay, right, now we're getting into the fat of this. The actual assignment itself, the POE itself. So the first question is a 5-minute video. In this video, you need to present a prototype of your product or service. Now, I don't expect you to build a prototype. So it can be a presentation. Typically, students would use PowerPoint or Prezi to do this with. But a graphic illustration of what your product looks like would be a good place to start. Remember, prototype is basically a first working model of your whatever your product or service is. So there's a number of ways you can actually build one. But as I say, I don't think that's needed. But if you have a good illustration or a good graphic that shows the different parts and shows how it works, that's great. The video itself, people always ask me, do I have to be on the video? No, you don't have to be on the video. You don't have to do what I'm doing, a talking head, that you can see me talking. I don't need to see your face on it. The voice needs to be you. Please don't use AI for the voiceover. And then what you need to do is you need to demonstrate and clarify the design of your product or service. So you've got to say, how does this product or service work? What are the, let's call it the moving parts? So what are the components? How does it work? How will it service? How will it function? So what will it do, right? And the video should be about 5 minutes long. It's not a massively long video, but it's just you talking through the product and service and saying how it works and so on. As I said, the easiest is submitted to YouTube. I know students have used other places in the past. They've shared it from their computers via file sharing software and so on. And I've never had a problem with YouTube as long as you make it, you don't have to make it public, as long as you make it that anybody with a link can see it. I've never had a problem on YouTube. I've had many problems with others. That's why I recommend YouTube. Please, whatever you do not try to upload it onto Arc. The chances are the video file is going to be too big for Arc and it's going to reject your file, and then I'm not going to have the video. And if I don't have the video, this first one, which is I think about 30 marks, you're not getting any marks for that, and we don't want that at this late stage. So that's it. You do a 5-minute video, explain how the product works, explain why it's a great thing, and that's it. Any questions around the first question, around the video? Okay, I have a problem. I can see Anushka's mic went on. Anushka, did you speak? Because I can't hear you, which is interesting. I just want to check if it's my headset's on, everything's on. Okay, everything looks fine on my side. Okay, there she's disappeared. Melissa, can I ask you to, Melissa Mori Libber, can I ask you just to open your mic and just say hello?
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Okay, Anushka, now I can hear you. Yeah, sorry. So it wasn't your side, it wasn't on my side.
Okay, thank you, sir. My business idea is a platform rather than a product. So would you say that I need to show the different user interfaces?
Yes. So you'd have to find a way of showing how what is going to be on the platform, how does it work, what's going to happen there. So yes, I would suggest your prototype will be in the various interfaces.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
sir.
cool. And then we move on to question 2. So question 2 is about incubators. This is offhand, Learning Unit 5. Now, the prescribed materials for Unit 5 are not in your textbook. If you listen to the video when I did Unit 5, they are uploaded onto ARC. So go scratch around on ARC under Learning Unit 5. You'll find the prescribed materials there. There is also the prescribed materials there. I have done a overview of the prescribed materials, which is like a summary, and there's also a YouTube video if you go to the links, which is separate from the actual briefing. Work through all of those materials so that you've got an understanding about what an incubator does. And what you need to do now, first thing you need to tell us, what does an incubator do and how it will help your venture. In other words, if you are to go into an incubator and work with an incubator at this early stage of your business, what will an incubator do for you? And give examples. This question, students get it wrong by giving me lots of theory. We need theory, so we need you theory that you say, what does the academic sources tell us about an incubator? And what does an incubator do? How will it help your venture? Is application. So you've got to bring it from the theory to the application for your specific venture. Then you've got to scratch around and start searching for incubators in South Africa. There's quite a couple if you start searching. Some are attached to universities, but some are attached to government departments. And then there are the private incubators. So you can find quite a couple of incubators. Go find 3 of those, right? That are suitable for your venture, that will take your venture. And then describe each one of them, what they do. The easiest is just to use a table as I put on the slide there. Make a table, incubator name, the services that they provide. And then describe the process of business incubator, right? So the first one is what an incubator does. The second part is the process of business incubation. What are the steps that you'd go through? What will happen during the time that you spend in an incubator? Remember, incubator is a limited time. It's not a forever home for a business. And when you're reading about incubators, understand what an accelerator does and make sure that you're talking about an incubator, that you're not talking about the functions of an accelerator. So keep your discussions, your examples, your practical application to the incubator phase and not an accelerator phase. Then you've got to choose one of those 3 incubators and motivate why you would prefer to go to that one. What do they do that is good for your business? Why would your newfound business find a home or a good home in that incubator? And then motivate, you need to say why that. So that's question 2, as I said, about 900 words. Do work through the material. I've made a bit of an effort with the material to try to give you summaries and that type of things in a video and all of that stuff. So please go have a look at that. Any questions about question 2 in the assignment or the POE?
Sir, I'm struggling to get marks with application. Would you mind giving some tips, since you said it's important to apply it correctly in this question? How we would.
So if you let me say, for example, if you say an incubator could get funding, right? So incubator can assist you with funding. Then what you would say for an application is, as stated in the second assignment, or as stated in my budget, because you guys did a budget for the previous one, I need to get 500,000 rands. This 500,000, I said I'm going to get through bootstrapping. And I now think that 500,000 through bootstrapping is going to be a bit difficult because I don't have 500,000 in my account. Therefore, I would like to use the services of these people to introduce me to financiers. For example, they may be able to introduce me to government departments that would give a cheap loan for the technological development that I'm going to do. Right? So you pull it through from the theory. So what do they do? How does that affect you? And then you make it applicable to what you are actually doing. Does that answer you, Anushka?
Yes, sir. So it's good to refer to like previous assignments work.
Well, the thing is, why I'm using that as an example. You've done the previous assignments work. Instead of you sitting there breaking your head to come up with how do I apply this, you've already over the semester created a case around your business. So use that case that you've already developed for the application. You are familiar with that case. I am familiar with that case. So that application is the easiest place to go to or that information that you've already written and researched is the easiest place to go to find places to apply the theory to. You can also come up with new things. For example, you could state something like, in your case, you're doing a platform, so there's going to be IT involved. You have no IT knowledge. One of the things incubators could possibly do is provide training or access to training. So you could say that seeing that you're going to do a platform and you've budgeted for developers to develop the platform, but you don't have any actual programming knowledge, it might be good for you to be able to, through the incubator, access a training program for development so that when you work with developers, you understand their language. So that would be another application, which is something new that doesn't come from old assignments. So you simply have to, you really have to think in terms of your business and what incubators do and find those linkages and apply it that way.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys, can I move on? Okay, question number last. Sure, this is going fast. Okay, once again, there is the prescribed material is uploaded under Learning Unit 6 on ARC. So I've gone on, if you go look in the module outline, you'll see that I think it's 3 articles. This is the one about the challenges that entrepreneurs face in emerging economies and the township economy. So what I've done there is I've uploaded the 3 documents. I've also created a briefing document that you can go through. Unfortunately, the format isn't very nice on ARC, but it's there. You can read through the briefing document, and that gives you a summary of the 3 other documents. I just thought it would be less painful for you to read a briefing document that you can go work through rather than working through a long academic or 3 long academic articles. The language is also much simpler. The first thing you need to do for question 3, you need to find 5 challenges that entrepreneurs face in emerging economies. Here we do not have to have a South African focus, so you can look at emerging economies anywhere in the world. Look at what are those challenges that are faced by entrepreneurs and why do they face those specific challenges. Now, if you recall, I said at the expected layout, there's 10 marks for structure. Here's a classic place for structure. So in this question, split it up and make a paragraph for each one of the challenges, right? And put, for example, the first couple of words, you can say lack of financing. And then you write your little story about lack of financing and why entrepreneurs battle with that, or lack of knowledge, or whatever the case may be. Because if you break it up in those 5 parts, it looks neater, it reads easier. And I immediately, when I look at it, I see, okay, so there's the 5 reasons. What are these 5 reasons? Right, what did they say about these 5 reasons? Mark, boom, your points are in the bank. Right, so you want to bank those marks and that's one way to make it easier to bank those marks. Now, when you look at those 5 challenges, you now need to apply it to your business and say, for example, why would your business be successful? So one of them may be, and I'm not saying it is, you've got to go read, but let's say lack of knowledge. is one of the problems, then you could make an argument that your business will be successful because you've done a 3-year course in entrepreneurship. So lack of entrepreneurial knowledge is not a problem. If you use the example, for example, that I gave to Anushka in the previous one where I said, and then say that the incubator would give you further training, then you refer to that as well and say your technical knowledge, you've got the entrepreneurial knowledge, you don't have the technical knowledge, but the technical knowledge you're going to get from the incubator, so therefore knowledge won't be a problem, and that will contribute to the success of your business. So once again, I've taken the theoretical aspect and I've taken what we say about our business and I put them together so they speak to each other. The last section is a tricky one. They ask you to describe what a township economy is. That's easy. That's in the prescribed material. But then they then ask you, if you go read the assignment properly, they then ask you, explain why your business will work in a township economy. And I think that question is badly put because many of your businesses will not work in a township economy. We didn't ask you to develop a business that would work in a township economy. If it will work there, great, no problems. Say why it will work and motivate it. If your business is not suited for a township economy, tell us what a township economy is, because that's the first part of the economy of the question, and then go ahead and explain why your business is not suitable for a township economy and why it will not work in a township economy, and that being the reason why you will not establish it in a township economy. So for instance, I'm just trying to think of an example. So some people spoke about they're going to solve hunger by linking people to restaurants that have food, excess food. You're not really going to be able to do that easily in a township economy. And then motivate why you're not going to do it. So I don't, if you read the question, get stuck in, I must force this thing, this square peg into a round hole. If it's not going to fit, say it's not going to fit and motivate why it won't fit. If it will fit, say why it's going to fit and then motivate why it's not going to fit. Why it's going to fit, sorry. Question 3, any questions there? This is about 1,100 words, as you can see at the top there. Okay. Guys, that's it. That's what I have. Any questions in general about assignment 3 or the POE 3 or the POE itself, if you want to call it that? Anything you want to ask me, anything you want to say, anything else you want to ask and find out? I also just want to mention to you, I sent out an email this morning. I have captured the ice marks. I had some time today, so I've captured all the ice marks. If your ice is not, if you've not done 4 of those exercises, I will re-look at all the ice on Saturday. So I know what I've captured and so on. So on Saturday morning, I'll quickly open ARC up and I will look on ARC, and if I see any new exercises, I'll have a look at them, or new uploads of exercises or new exercises completed. I'll have a look at them. I'll go check. If you haven't got enough ice marks, I will then increase your ice marks. But after, so basically you must do it before Friday close of business. Because Saturday morning when I get up, that's the first thing I'm going to do. And if it's not there on Saturday morning, that's it, that's cut off. So please make sure, because that's 10% and 10% is a nice thing to bank. Okay, folks, any questions? Anything else you want to say? Okay, cool. If those of you that are considering doing an honors next year, because I'm assuming most of you are finishing now, if you are consider doing an honors and you're considering doing it full time, we're running an honors program. I'm involved in that at the Cape Town campus. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to chat to anybody about the honors program. I also work on the distance honors program. I'm a supervisor for the research project. So I'm happy to answer questions, but please consider, especially for the honors program, I think it's a good idea to do that face-to-face rather than in the distance. Nothing wrong with doing it in distance, but you learn a heck of a lot more. And I also think it's just 1 year, not 2 years, as it is in the distance program. Well, it is 1 year, And I think it is in the distance space, it's 2 years. Okay, guys, if there's nothing else, I'm going to say thank you very much. I enjoyed the many of you I've spent a year with. I enjoyed it, and all the best forward. Right, cheers, keep well.